Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. The topic for today is going to be on your screen. Those are joins, how we apply joins and what are joins, why we use joins, what are the types of join like inner, left, right and full join, all of them. And it's a very important thing in your day-to-day use of SQL. Also, grouping data by group by, how to use group by with aggregate functions, what are aggregate functions and everything. Then filtering group by with having, and then subquery and nested query. So in today's video, it's going to be very crucial for all of you. These are super important topic. I would say 50% of SQL belongs to this. On your day-to-day basis, all these things you will be using in your company. Now, to understand and get start with join, let me try to make you understand first the conceptual part of it. So, as we talk about joins, so number one question comes, what is join? As the name also say, when you are trying to join more than two entity or minimum two entity, because joining can happen if you are shaking hand. So at least you need two hands. Similarly, for joining a table, you need minimum two tables. And what is the meaning of joining now? Let's say there is one table where you have name of the person and education of the person. Then there is another table in database where you have name of the person and then salary of the person. Now somebody asked me, can you tell me there is a person called Rajat, what is his education and salary? So what you will do, you will join these two tables on the basis of name, and there will be a new table will be created where you'll have all these three columns. What is the need of this? Like why we keep two different table in databases? See, if inside a database, so the database is in any of the database, number one, some of you who are new to the channel maybe or first time seeing this video, you can ask what is database. So database you can understand as a storage. Like you have warehouse, any company have a warehouse where they keep all their inventory. So that is a database. Inside database, the pieces or the things which company are putting, they are tables. Now, if you want to understand that this table also belongs to Rajat, this table also belongs to Rajat. So Rajat name becomes the primary key here. This is your primary key, and I have very well explained in previous video that what is the concept of primary key. Now using this primary key, you are joining the table. So in real life scenario, you will need maybe 10 tables data. From one table you name some other thing, from second table you name some other thing. So similarly, we use joins in the real world scenario, and I will tell you one more thing. In like 80% of the cases in real life, you will use left join. What is left join? I will come to that. Now, as I was talking about the type of joins, okay. So there are several types of join. I hope you understood the performance, why we use join, what is join, why we use, because we want to join more than two table at least, and what is the functionality, it provide all the data of multiple table in a single table ultimately on the basis of the primary key. Now types. So first we spoke about the inner join. So this is your table T, this is your table Y. This is whole table, this is whole table. What is common between these two? Only the common values. This is known as a inner join. Okay. Then this is your table A, this is your table B. If I get this data, including the common one from the left table, this whole data. So this is the common portion, this is the individual portion. This table will be the output. This table will come the output with the common data. So this is known as left join. Then for right join, this is just opposite to the left join. Like the whole data in the right table and the common data. This is known as a right join. The output will be this circle, which I am showing you, which I am actually coloring also. That is going to be your output. And similarly, you have a full join when you get the whole data. You very rarely use this. I have never seen people using full join. Very rare. Maybe out of 1,000 only one you need to use this particular type of join. It's not that much useful in real life scenario. Okay. Now returning, when we talk about returning match from both the tables, that is your inner join. Returning all records from the left table and the matching record from the right table is known as left join. The opposite of that is right join. This was the left join. And then full join obviously talks about returns all the record, whether there is a match or either table is having mismatch, does not matter, it will return you the full data. Okay. Now this is the concept of join. Also, to give you one example in real life scenario, if you are working for a bank, so bank have a always customer table where they will have customer ID, if the customer who has taken a loan, so loan detail, then his geography and so many other details. Now once customer is inside the system, it has been 1 year, so he is paying obviously EMIs. Now there will be a table which will be transaction table, okay, or you can say EMI table, where customer ID will be there, his monthly EMI will be there, and some other additional information. After 2 years, it's not always mandatory that a person is paying EMI whole throughout the life. If the customer default maybe after 18 months, so that information will be here, ID again will be there, default information. Now this kind of scenario happen in real life, so this usually you keep as a left table, you get all the information from this, then you put a left join on this, then a left join on this, on the basis of ID and this ID you get the EMI information, default information also, then you filter out and you prepare the report as per your need. So this was a real life scenario example. Now let's move forward in MySQL and try to implement a code directly rather than going so much theoretical. So I hope this is all clear to you. Let me open MySQL. Okay, now in MySQL I already prepared one code for joins. Let me paste it here, because if we write this code, this is going to be really tough, and all of you can download this code from the GitHub account, so the link will be there in the description box. So I hope all of you, I highly encourage all of you to download this. Now what I'm doing, I'm creating table, and you can see 2 tables. Now these 2 tables, let's say I want to create inside this database, which is here like world. So we have already a table employee there. Now in sys, okay, let's create in sys. So I'll give a reference. So now in line number 6 and 7, I'm just creating table and one employee table, department table. Here I have ID, here I have department ID, and this ID, maybe the name is different, but this will act as a primary key here. So don't worry on this. Then you have name, which is character, department ID, again department name. So this department ID is acting as a primary key. I explain it to you. Let's insert some data in these 2 tables. So I put the values using the value option. If you're very new to this channel, so definitely you should go back and watch couple of video in this playlist that will actually make your coding only strong. So now I am just inserting the value. This is all we covered in the previous video. Insert into this table and this table. Now what I am doing, I am just applying an inner join first. So where I'll apply inner join, select employee.name, which will be sys.employee, and again here it will be sys.department, department name, from sys.employee. So from select statement also you can remove the reference also, because in from, if you are giving the reference, that should be enough. Now you are applying an inner join, so here also you need to give a reference so that it can understand like where it need to go. Now employee.department, this dot department.department ID. For now let me remove all other joins. Let's say I remove this. Now let's only execute the inner join. If I run this, so you can see what was the common values when I am entering it here. If you see, this is the data. What is the common value? So number one is ls. Okay. So you can see this is 101, here 101. Okay, that is a primary key. Again, what is a common? 102, 102. Okay. In Charlie's case, the third value case, you cannot see 103 is given here. But if I write 103 here, so that will also come here. So this is the condition of your inner join. Okay. Now, let me remove this data. Now let's put the other joins also. I paste it here. So all of you understood what are the changes we need to make. Now let me remove the inner join portion from this, because we already have the table prepared and we have the data also. Now all you need to do, and this I will give all of you as a homework. You can get this data obviously, and you can also get the code from the description box. Just put the database name here and just run this piece of code, and you will understand each and every type of join very clearly. Only left data will come, only right data will come, and then the full data will come. Okay, so this is going to be super easy. Now let's move forward and let's talk about the other topic. So that is group by. Now let's try to understand group by as a concept first. So let's go back here. Let's say you have a table. In a table, you have a need to apply sum. Let's say you want to take the sum of salary. Here you have salary. Department wise. And you have department of people like HR department, insurance department, IT department, all that. Now I want department wise sum. In that case, you will use a sum function on salary column. But you need a group by also. You need a group by here on the basis of department, so that the group will be of department and you will see the sum of the salary. Now that is the purpose of group by. People make it a very large concept. I actually crack it very easily. Group by is the easiest concept, I would say, simply. Okay. So to understand group by here, let's go back to MySQL. Now I just write this one piece of code. Okay. Here, what I am doing, I am just taking a count. Count is an aggregate function, and it's mandatory that with a aggregate function you have to use a group by. Now group by will be on the basis of department ID, and I'm taking the count of the what? Everything. So if you see department ID I'm selecting, then I'm taking count. Now if I run this piece of code, so you can see on the basis of department ID, group by department ID. If there will be a department here, let's say insurance, IT, whatever I said, all this will come here, and then count will come here. So if you remove the group by, if I remove this line, if I run this code, so you can see there is an error. In the last line, it's giving error. That means this data is not executed successfully. If I run it again, see, so it's happily ran. Okay. So this is how the group by function actually works. Now let's move on to having clause. With the group by, if you want to apply a condition that I want a where condition, I want a filter also. So you will use a having here right after group by. Let's say you want to apply where the count is greater than 1. But you can see in the data, there is no place where your count is greater than 1. Correct? So for this, you first need to remove this colon. Now this is a whole query. And if I run this query, there is 0 observation. Why? Because this where condition, having is a where condition. It's a form of where condition, but there is a difference between having and where. Having actually calculate over all those columns also which you are still calculating. Like this is in a calculation. This is in select clause and you are applying a condition on this. If there is something in select clause and you want to apply a where to that, that is not possible. And this is a tricky interview question. But with having, it's very much possible. Okay. So this is all in all about the having, and all of these codes you will get the link in the description box. So just download and run. Now let's talk about nested query. So let me take you through one example of a nested query. First, what is nested query? As the name also says, one will be a major query, then inside a query you will write a subquery. So if you put many subqueries also inside one major query, so that is also considered as a subquery. Like there can be multiple subquery for one single query. And that's how it works. Basically, sometime a single query is not enough to get output. For example, let's take a very basic example. So if you want to understand that, can you give me the second highest salary in the whole group from employee, second highest salary. So the logic can be that I find the highest salary and then I put that in a subquery and then I write one more query. So this is your subquery where you are calculating the highest salary. This subquery you put inside a query where you exclude this, where you exclude this highest salary, and then when you select the highest salary, that comes as a second highest salary. So in this kind of situations, you need to use the subquery, or I would say nested query. Okay. So now let me take one example of this. Let's go back to our code and I remove all this and I put this. So now this is a major query. This is my outer query. Select name from sys.employee, where department ID, select department ID from departments where department name is HR. So that's how you write a subquery. So you can understand, if you try to implement this in a main query, this is going to be more difficult for you. So subquery makes things easy. Now let me run this. Okay, we have not called the database here. Make sure guys you use the right call. Okay. Now you can see Alice is the name. Alice is the name of the department with HR working. Okay. So this is the concept of subquery. In upcoming session, where there was a requirement, when there will be a requirement of understanding nested query, I'll give you more codes and which will be much more complex. And also in this particular description box of this video, you are going to make some serious coding experience. Make sure guys you download all this. Okay. On that note, I will take a leave from all of you. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please hit the like button. I try to make concepts as easy as possible. And if you like that way of teaching, so please make sure that you hit the like button. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and please share this video with maximum of your friends so that even I get motivated. Okay. On that note, I will take a leave from all of you and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much guys.